So a lot of you guys wanted me to give you an update video on the Diddy scenario, following up my previous couple of videos where I had spoke on the charts right before his home got raided by the FBI and everything had happened. So I'm not really going to share any predictions of what I think is going to happen, but I will share with you relevant alignments with his natal chart and what's happening in the sky right now. Because over the next 6 months is going to be a very bumpy ride. Outside of Diddy with the elections and the Super Bowl on February, I'm going to explain to you what would be interesting to look out for relative to how this is going to influence him. So as you can see, we do have his natal chart. We notably want to look at Mars, 29 degrees. Pluto is there right now. This is significant because K Flock, a New York drill artist who is in prison for murder, actually got locked up when Pluto was on his Mars in Capricorn. We also want to take note of the North Node that's 19 degrees Pisces, which is going to be increasingly relevant in 6 months. And we want to take a look at that glorious Libra stellium right there, which with Pluto 26 degrees in 6 months will be relevant. But this Libra planet is going to be relevant in like 2 weeks from now. As you can see, this is the chart today. The moon is in Aries on the North Node. We have Saturn 15 degrees, Pluto 29 on his Mars. And we can see the sun is getting close to his Pluto. But I want you to see, 7 degrees South Node, 24 degrees Venus. Watch. This is October 3rd. That's going to be during the eclipse. It's not a coincidence that Libra, which rules agreements, law, justice, litigation in courts, is going to coincide with his case, with his hearings. And so we want to look at the eclipse that's happening right around 6 degrees Libra, which we know is exactly on this Uranus point. Uranus, which signifies unpredictability, unexpected happenings, genius. This is an eclipse that over the next 6 months is going to define the relationships that you invest in and take action in. And it's very interesting to see how this 12th house to a Scorpio sun is going to release hidden relationships, actions taken in secret with people, but most importantly, activating that Uranus aspect. And through this destiny aspect, I think being a major landmark period for this case. But let's look even deeper. Here is the chart of February 28th, where you guessed it, the North Node will have finally entered Pisces. We're going to have the next eclipse at the end of Pisces. This represents the end of the old world system. Last time when Neptune was in Pisces, it was around 1995, and they were playing the same cartoons all over, the Hanna-Barbera cartoons. And then once Saturn went into Aries, we had Rugrats, we had Pokemon, we had a whole new renaissance of new original acts and shows that now 30 years later, Pokemon has finished its runtime. A lot of these series have reached because we're at the end of the cycle again. And where does he have his North Node? Pisces. So these are the things you have to think about. Karma is on his destiny. He is getting ready to return a 20-year nodal cycle. He has Uranus on his nodes. The stellium is going to be lit. Now, our particular date we want to keep in mind in between October and February is the 18th of November, where the sun is going to be opposite Uranus, which is relevant because we know that this is where he has his Neptune. Neptune, of course, is transcendent, it's imaginary, it's astral, it's invisible. I don't know if this is going to account for unexpected revelation of information or things hidden in the dark. This is speculation at this point, but I do want to point that I do feel the sun being opposite the Uranus with his Neptune will be incredibly significant on the way to February. And that's the analysis I have for now. Please watch out for those dates, and in between, the 6-month period is bringing in the end of old world cycles. That's why everyone is going outside. Everyone's past is catching up to them. Everyone's not going outside. You thriving. Everyone, people's past are catching up to them who haven't had integrity. It's the clearing of an old cycle. This has happened 30 years before, 30 years before that. You have to understand, when the people who are old right now were children 30 years ago, they went through their own version of this without social media. They had newspapers and whatnot. Nothing is new under the sun. But, you know, I wanted to provide these relevant dates just in case you notice anything in between. I was hesitant about this, but some of you guys have been asking for me to look into other people. And you know, don't take it personal if I don't, but still comment down below. I'll still check them out. If I see anything I like in the charts that I feel is worth mentioning, I will point it out. I'm definitely going to, you know, run back on Trump's chart. Trump's chart, Kamala's chart looks very interesting, not because I'm into politics, but because they're relevant main characters to society. Whether you like them or not, I want to be as objective and unbiased as possible, just to give you the math. But let me know what you guys think about this, and until next time. Last but not least, I almost forgot to mention this. This is not a prediction. This is just speculation. It's a guess. I could be wrong, but I don't feel like this man is going to be found not guilty. I don't feel like he's going to prison. He may be found guilty. He may go to prison, but he may get out on appeal. I feel like there's a loophole, a technicality, a lack of evidence. R. Kelly went to prison, so the precedent has been established. It's not like they can't lock him up, but I feel like in between the next 6 months, there's certain things that we don't see now that may be revealed that can change the outcome of how this case is looking like. All right. That being said, he may very well go to prison. But I'm saying the way that we're looking at things now versus the way things may play out may drastically switch just through the eclipse alone. So just keep that. That's if he's even still alive. All sorts of things. All right. So just something to keep in mind. I could be completely wrong, but yeah, let me know your thoughts.